I just did a spread for Donald Trump for the election, and I'll do another one for Hillary later. And if they're both similar, I'll have to analyze it. But right now, I did Donald Trump, and I did the Celtic cross, and I want to just do something. This is the Egyptian deck, and I have a Viking deck that I really love. Uh, I have studied the Vikings, the Norse religions, related to the Christian religion, and how they kind of combined, and what was going on. Here, let me adjust that a little bit. And it's really interesting, how Christianity and the Vikings, and even in the Poles, in Poland, they're all kind of similar. And the Vikings, the Russians, and the Poles all have a very long history together. And when you're looking at the history, you have to see that they intermarried and everything. So, what did they find? Why did the Vikings eventually become Christians, and how it evolved to Lutheranism and things like that? It's just, some of it's really interesting. I think the Norse people have lost their way, and they're refining it right now. Went in the wrong direction probably. They're going to have to go back to their genetic code on how they live, and that's something separate altogether. But I find it really amazing. And anyway, this morning I did a Viking, one card, Donald Trump this election. Boom, the sun. It's a great card. He's going to win. That's all it is. Christ consciousness, Horus, whatever you want to call it, the Son of God anoints him. Boom, he's got it. That's all it's saying. Okay, and then, so a few hours later, what did I do? I had Hillary here. Hillary got, she got this one. And this is the Viking one. This is the Seven of Cups. Can you see it? Making a decision. Too many choices. The tyranny of choices. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. And the priestess, the Hierophant, is, I pulled the second card because I wanted deeper. And her problem is she can't think out of the box. The Hierophant is the high priest, is like the Pope. You have to do things in a structured way, and she doesn't realize the whole world has changed on her. And let's turn up the volume a little. Anyway, okay, let's get started on today's spread for the election. Before that, I want to see what the week before us is coming. This is Trump's week coming up. This is who he is. You see it? It's not a funny card. I'm ready to go to war. That's what it's saying. He's dug in. He's ready to fight. The line is drawn in the sand. This card, by the way, is the Nine of Wands. And your backup's against a wall. You got the army behind you, and then it's gonna go. He goes, "Let's go at it." And I think the dirty pool, I think it's sinking in. The debate was totally fixed on a lot of very subtle issues, but big issues. She had all the questions a week ahead of time. She had the earpiece, someone giving her the questions. She did that to notify the moderator to call upon her because she was hearing, you can't make this up, a follow-up. She wanted to give him a zinger. That's why she's the perceived winner a little bit, but the audience picked Trump. I doused that before. You saw that. And he actually had a little bump in the polls. So that's what it is. He's ready to go to war. She got the Hangman, the sacrifice. That's what the Hangman is always for me. So that's how I do it. You have to make the personal sacrifice. I don't know if she's willing to do it. Could be her health. Also, is an issue here that's taking her toll. So her health is taking a toll because she's running for president. If she was not doing this, she could be off resting. But this is her drive, and that's what the two issues and things they have to do. Okay, the spread for today on Trump for the election is, you're not going to believe this. When I do a Celtic, I ask Spirit to pick the card for me. All right, I don't go and say, okay, this is this guy and stuff. I do a little differently. I don't do reverse cards at all. All right, look what you got. This is what Spirit picked. The Sun. I got two cards dealing with on the Sun. That's the discussion card. That's what's around Trump for the election. Right there, I could just stop and say he's got it. But it's going to discuss it. So the cards I'm going to bringing up will be discussing his winning the election. That's what it's about. But I still have to do Hillary's later, so that would I'll have to give it time. So the card that covers him is who he is. He's the King of Cups. People don't believe that, but that's who he is. He's the King of Cups. And he's going to take those attributes, and that's going to cover his victory. He's not going to be ruling with the fist here. This is a sensitive ruler, and he's gonna play that role. All right, and he's crossed by the Four of Swords. He's going to reflect on his winnings. This is the Egyptian for Four of Swords. It's really taking time out and meditating, but it's also reflecting. For him, I can see it's going to be taking time out. How am I going to do this? So he has to go out. He has to literally find hundreds of people to form a government. And he's going to need people who think differently. And it's not going to be the Harvard MBAs. You know, the Harvard MBA, well, a Harvard MBA is better than a Columbia University MBA by far. And maybe even a Notre Dame. They really need people who can have some kind of vision for the future and how to take apart the old structure. And just Trump winning will do that. All right. You got to remember, in the backdrop, we have the financial chaos going on, which we do. The economy is in really, really bad shape. Unemployment's really high. See that moderator in the debate? I heard his first question was, he just corrected all Trump's assumptions along the way. Like, oh, the economy has recovered. No, it has not. That was a lie. But you just, that's what they do. They're going to be just spewing these lies. And intuitively, the collective unconscious of the people know this. So it doesn't, and this is going to be a huge defeat for the mass media, New York Times, Washington Post, all of them, because they're all in collusion. They work like this. They go, we pick the president. That's what they're saying. They're really, really angry, and they're just attacking him. And people are wising up. The citizenship is wising up to this. And he goes, no, time out. We do as the people. And the collective unconscious could be creating this financial instability to weaken the power structure, because you can't reform it. It needs to crash to some extent. And that's just a personal opinion. Okay, we go from that, and the next card is the Nine of Disc. He will get rewarded. This will help him out a little bit. He will get some benefit out of this, and because he's paid a high price, he's bought a lot of I don't know. He's in it for like 85 million, let's say, and he's rich, but he's not that rich. I feel that the New York area is going to take a huge financial hit in the coming year. So I hope he pulls out of his real estate. Anyways, let's keep going. So I think this will help all the protesters that are protesting outside of his hotels, his businesses. He's being affected by this. It's a big sacrifice for him and his family. Okay, the foundation in which he made his announcement the foundation card is the universe. It's called the world. Same universe is another way, and that's about the divine hand is behind this. There's nothing the power structure can do about this. This isn't about Republican and Democrats. This is about the financial institutions that run this country. They don't want to give up power. And here's someone who's their neighbor in New York City in Manhattan, and he knows their inner workings. That's the funny thing. He knows who they are, and that's the world. He has as his foundation. Great card to have in that position. Okay, let me see. Dun, dun. Oh, the family. He's leaving the family life behind. That's his past, and he's left his family. That's the Three of Cups, by the way. There's it's a good card. It's a really nice card, but I think that's why it's in his past. He had good relationship, but now he's going to be president and maybe something else. Now I have the King of Disc. Is that the King of? No, the King of Wands. Excuse me. In the future, that's him as president. It's a very powerful card. It's one of the most powerful cards. And the deck is the King of Wands in my world. Anyway, that would be the president. And that's what he's coming into after the election. He'll be the King of Wands. It's a very powerful card. The Princess of Cups could be his wife. And is just making a comment that she's there. I'd have to reflect on it a little bit. The Ace of Swords. He needs new ideas. They'll be there. He'll be supported. All these ideas will be coming, overwhelming him between the election and the inauguration. And he needs new ideas. Just what I said at the beginning. You need people who can think in the next paradigm that we're coming, because the old paradigm is crashing. All right? The institutions of the bank, the courts are all corrupt. Now, and you remember when I said John F. Kennedy was a 5.5 star consciousness, which is extremely high for a politician. Usually politicians are about 2 stars. He was 5.5. And he was running a nation that was 5. Very high for a country. All right? That's about as high as you get for a collective consciousness of people. The United States was a 5. You know what today the country is? It's a 1. And we're going to put a president who is a 5 on top of a 1. I think there's going to be conflict. He has to go in there and really, we're hoping this, take these institutions and start breaking them apart. And either that, because either that the whole country will go down. These old institutions cannot follow the frequency up. And if you saw my video on frequency increase of the country, we've gone, since 1980, the frequency has been going up, 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 but we're going into all these wars. Well, they're not compatible. Why we're going into wars? Because the power structure is trying to hold down the population in the old frequency. They don't want to go there. They know that's happening. When we hit, we're going to keep going to this new frequency for the next couple of years, and the veil between the spirit realm and our conscious minds will be thinner. Everybody will see the truth. Right now, everybody sees the truth. That is why the mass media is fighting so hard against them. They're just lying every single day. It's really interesting. I don't know how Trump is doing it, to be honest. You saw how the debate was rigged. She had a notebook. Did you see that video? The guy, after they have a video of the people walking around and stuff, a guy went up behind Hillary's thing, took a notebook, took a little box. You're not supposed to have notebooks or little electronic things. She had all these little things. The guy kept, it's really, and they sabotaged his audio. They gave her all the questions a week ahead of time. And it goes on and on. I think Trump knows that now. But he had no choice. He just said, "Oh, forget it. I'll just go do it." And this card here, that's his foundation, the world. The universe is behind him. There's nothing they can do. If you want to go use a religious context, you can say he's anointed by God. It's the same thing. I know people don't like that when I do that, but it's the same thing. You got to get out of judging people. It's really important. And judging philosophy. Okay, where am I? Here's my, is that the Ace of Disc? Hopes and fears. Yeah, that's what the country is hoping he's going to fix the economy. You know, that's the Ace of Disc. It's the beginning of a new economy. And it's going to be good for everybody. Then the outcome is what? The Queen of Disc, which is again about money. It's our attitude towards money is going to soften. It's going to be more nurturing. We're going to use money to be more nurturing. And I think most people would probably do a different read on those cards, but I think it's very positive for Trump. And it's interesting. It has to do with ideas and money. Ideas and money. How can we fix the economy? It definitely points, I think, that he's going to get it. I showed you he got that card earlier. And Hillary, where's Hillary? I got a couple cards for Hillary. Here. I told you, that's Hillary. She's just confused. She doesn't know what to do. She has too many choices to make. Now, did I do everything I wanted to do? I was going to talk about wars. Hillary, if Obama stayed in for another term, which, you know, they think he wants to do, but he's not. I keep seeing all these people, oh, he's going to cancel the election. The elections will not be canceled. They're going forward. No one's on board with that. Obama can't. And then if Trump gets elected, he's going to say, well, I'm going to annul the elections or something. He doesn't have that authority, and he can't do it. He'll look like a fool if he does that. But Obama, you remember, he's probably of all the presidents ever, he's the one with zero power. He is a hired actor. He can't even order the donuts from Dunkin' Donuts in the White House. He has no authority, and I've never seen that before. So low. Now, I asked what the authority for Trump as a president would have in the White House. He would have over 90%. We haven't had that in probably 100 years. One person commanding the Constitution and just giving orders and doing it. The problem with somebody with Obama with 3%, in his case, Valerie Jarrett and Biden have the power in the White House. They make the decisions. This is really weird. And Valerie Jarrett had 65% of the authority, and Biden had 25%. Between they two, they run everything. It's incredible. But they're his handlers, and it was always that way. Now, you know, I doused there was always two Obamas. I had dreams where I used to be talking to the first Obama in the first term, but they switched him out, apparently. I didn't really pursue it too much, but that's it. And the second one has less power than the first Obama in the first term, who had not much, maybe 15, 20%. But the new guy, which is a clone, has 3%. So of all the 100% authority, you only have 3%. Well, who are you? You're an actor. You're an actor. And so he's not going to be able to pull it off. People want him to exit. And it's all about the times changing. This is a class of cultures. I'm pretty convinced of it. But to bring us to where we have to go, it's going to be really, really rough. And I pray that Trump has what it takes. Okay? And I'm not sure even if anyone who's president can do anything. I mean, the train is going to go where it's going to go. And we should have had reform years ago. We should have had Trump years ago. So, bear with him if the economy really starts falling apart after his election. And by the time he's inaugurated, well, let's hope. I don't think it's going to be a good Christmas. But I think we're going to start returning to a lot of our values as a nation and try to pull ourselves out of the one vibration, which is awful, which is what? Credit card debt, murders, pornography, and goes on and on and on. This is a culture of Hollywood. This is all they have to offer, and that's what this is. This is a referendum on the culture for the last 20 years. That's what it is. And the people are going to say no. I think after he's elected, they're still going to come after him. But I think he's going to have the authority of the Constitution to go through it. He'll make it to the inauguration. He'll be sworn in. And he's going to be fighting one battle after another, in particular the Congress. Okay, I don't want to babble anymore. That was really interesting. Let's follow that up with, let's just ask, the Dowsing. I want to know if Hillary is going to make it. Now, she's still alive. And so some people think she's dead. She's not. And she's going to have a big setback this week, I believe. Let me just go through that. I don't have a chart. And my TV went out. Okay, here I go. Connect. Thank you. Okay, is Hillary alive? Yes, no. Is Hillary Clinton alive? The Democratic nominee. Yes. Could you rate her, please, on this chart for her health? Is she going to stay alive through to the election? What's the probability she stays alive to the election, please? What's the probability? I would say 55% probability. To get a yes, I'd like to see 90%, 85%. Those kind of numbers. This 50 stuff doesn't mean, doesn't mean anything. Okay, is Hillary going to win the election? No. Was that the real Hillary during the debate? Was that the real one? Yes. Will the real Hillary show up at the second debate? I don't know. It won't tell me, or it doesn't know. It hasn't been decided. This was the exact same answer before the first debate. They really don't know if they're going to use the real Hillary until really the last minute. So they do have a fallback double. And the double can do it, but I think everybody's going to know. Even Trump will know. He goes, that's not Hillary. But he probably won't say anything. He wants to close this deal. He wants to stay focused. You don't want to get into, oh, that's a double. You can't win that debate. And it would get messy. Okay. And then finally, when I dealt that Trump would win, I a couple times I got the tower. Now I believe the couple times I got the tower, this was about a couple months ago, had to do with everybody will be in shock. So I want to read that. Is that what the tower means? Everybody will be in shock. Yes. Will the forces be moved against him to prevent him from being inaugurated? Yes. Will they work? No. All right. There you go. That's my update. I think it's pretty interesting. And you know, it's important that you stay clear and grounded yourself. That's the most important thing. Don't get too caught up in the election. Try to be focused on your life and keeping your relationships and everybody sane, because your friends and family will be going insane. They won't be rational. So that's it. All right. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that.